Welcome back to the Lumiose Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be talking about the question that I think everyone has on their minds, and that is, when will we get Legends EA news, as well as what that news could entail. There's a lot of rumors that's been circulating about what will be in the next batch of news, as well as the release date for Legends EA. And all of those things will kind of impact the timeline of when we get news, right? And when we get news after that, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give my thoughts on what I think is most likely and talk about why we could see different scenarios. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So Legends EA, obviously, that got announced on Pokemon Day, February 27th of this year, which is 2024, for those who didn't know. The game is confirmed to release 2025. Now, there's a lot of debate here. There are some people who are like, okay, well, it's a Legends Arceus situation. No release January 2025, because Legends Arceus did release January of 2022, so a lot of people are kind of hoping that's the same case here. However, there are also some people who think that it might be later on in the year. Now, I am personally in the camp that this game will release later on in the year, and the reason that is because they didn't say early 2025. With Legends Arceus, they said early 2022. And Legends Arceus did, in fact, come out early 2022. But they did not say that for Legends EA. They just said 2025. So I think they're being a bit more broad because it's not going to be early. I don't think it'll be November. I do not think it'll be the November release for Pokemon. Purely because I just don't think they would announce Legends EA on February of 2024 if it's not releasing until November of 2025. You know, that's such a long time. That's a year and 9 months, guys. A year and 9 months. That's, you can have 2 babies in that time period. 2 of them. Like, you like get pregnant and have the babies. That's 2 babies. That's a lot of babies. 4 if they're both twins. But anyways, the point is that is a long time, and I feel like they would rather, in that scenario, save the Legends EA reveal for 2025's Pokemon Day, right? Because that's another big question, right? If they've revealed this and it's the November 2025 game, what are they going to reveal on Pokemon Day of next year? Just give us news for it, you know? The way I see it is that we will get this game around, I don't know, late spring, like I'm talking April, May, or even summer, like June, early July. That's the release window I personally see for Legends EA. Obviously, I'm not an insider. I would like to think I'd have a bigger following if I was an insider, but I'm not, because I don't have that because I'm not, right? So this is all speculation on my part, but I think it's speculation that's well-founded, right? Again, why would they reveal something a year and 9 months before it's released? Almost 2 years, guys. Almost 2 years. So the question would then be, okay, well, let's say that I'm right in my prediction for the release window of Legends EA, sometime between April and early July. I think it'd be late April to early July, more likely May or June. So May or June. When would we start getting news? Well, if you look at past patterns, which I always say that patterns are patterns until they're not, because GameFreak is constantly breaking patterns, both in marketing cycles and things done in games. So I just don't think patterns really are a surefire way to get something, but they are a good precedence to look at, you know, until they're broken. So with past patterns, we've had Pokemon games typically releasing in November, right? You know, this was the case with Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet. Legends Arceus wasn't, but Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl was, and it was kind of tacked into its marketing cycle. And we typically see these marketing cycles drum up. It used to be like June, but it's recently been more like August. Scarlet and Violet did give us a little trailer in June, but that was just to reveal the box art and the release date, which is something they typically do in that time period. So, yeah. So, if we're saying, okay, well, June or late May is when they give us the box art and the release date of the game. Well, that is 6 months before the game's release. So, if Legends EA is releasing in May or June of next year, honestly, guys, we could, following this pattern, not see any news on it until December, maybe November of this year, which is kind of a crazy thought. But then you have to factor in another thing, and that is that Pokemon has revealed this game, right? Like, they've revealed it. They know it's on our minds, and they've even done some things like teasing it. For example, the Japanese Pokemon Twitter account pinned the Legends EA trailer. This wasn't done until like late May, early June of this year, so, you know, it wasn't done back when it was revealed in February, so that was a little sus. Then we also did have a Kalos like lineup come out for the Japanese Pokemon Center and Pokemon Cafe, which, given that Legends EA takes place in Kalos, that seemed a little sus too. And we do also have the English account just every once in a while posting something. Like, they posted the Mega Evolution logo and put like the little eye emojis, like, what's this? You know, I'm gonna do my best impression of it. I think that was good. But yeah, so we see them kind of keeping it on our minds. So I feel like if I were marketing this game, I would feel like, hey, you know, we can't wait until November to give them something. Let's give them something small in August, because I think August is when people kind of really expect it, not only because that's when we've had big presents in the past, like the presents for the Scarlet and Violet DLC, the presents for Scarlet and Violet, the presents for Sword and Shield and Legends Arceus, all were, like, these things happen in August. I actually think with Sword and Shield, it was a Shadow Drop trailer that revealed the Galarian forms and stuff, but either way, we usually get news in August. Not only that, but the World Championships comes up, right? And that is a big event for Pokemon fans. That's where, you know, all the TCG fans, all the Unite fans, all the VGC fans, the Go fans, they'll all be gathered in one place, and typically we see some form of announcement at that venue. So I feel like because people are going to have those expectations, Pokemon kind of would have to do something, right? And that's when we get into kind of the good news of all this, and that is that Legends EA's reveal trailer revealed like next to nothing. It had no gameplay footage. It didn't reveal the starters, nothing like that. It didn't even really reveal the time period. Like, we can speculate based on the trailer, but there's nothing obviously saying it is set in the past, whereas the initial reveal trailer of Legends Arceus, like, straight up said, oh yeah, this game is set in the old days of Sinnoh, you know? So the fact that they haven't done that is also kind of a big, what's going on there? And yeah, so I think that them not revealing that is so they can reveal it later and not have to begin their hype cycle later. So I think in August, my prediction will be that we will get some form of presents. This presents will give us the various updates to Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Cafe Remix, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite, and will also give us the release date of the TCG Pocket game. I think that's what it's called, but the mobile game that deals with TCG. And also will give us a little trailer of Legends EA, and this will be the early gameplay footage like we got for Legends Arceus, and will also reveal the starters, and I think that the time period will be made a little more clearly to us. Maybe they'll give us the release date and the box art. Maybe they could hold off on that. They could also just give us a smaller window of release, right? Because right now, like I said, they have said Legends EA is releasing in 2025. Well, there's 12 months of 2025. So they now could say it will be releasing summer 2025 or winter 2025, whatever it may be, right? That's usually how they do it when they first reveal a game, is they'll be like, oh, this game's coming out holiday of this year, and then they later on narrow it down to, okay, it's November 17th or whatever. So we could see at least a smaller release window for Legends EA, but I do think the starters and the gameplay footage, very early gameplay footage, like, it's probably going to be kind of shoddy looking, right? Like, it's going to have the horrible frame rates, like that Chingling from Legends Arceus, but I do think that will come in August. I really, really think this. The fact that they haven't done anything on the TCG Pocket, like just announcing, hey, it's coming out this time, really makes me think that they're saving that for a presents, and they're not going to do a presents without mainline Pokemon game information. Legends EA obviously being the mainline Pokemon game. This also adds up with some rumors. There is a person in the Pokemon community, or I believe they're actually rather a team in the Pokemon community. They call themselves Coup. And, well, they have an iffy track record. There's a lot of debate on their legitimacy, but that is something that they have said, is that we will know these starters before the end of this year. Now, again, this should all be taken with a giant grain of Knockley, right? In fact, a garganical. In fact, it should be taken with a giant grain of garganical. And yet, this person does have a history of getting some things right. So, you know, it is something to kind of keep your eye out for. And again, with the way that Legends EA did their marketing of it at the very beginning, that initial reveal trailer really makes me think that could be the case. I've long speculated that they didn't want to reveal Legends EA yet, and the only reason they did on Pokemon Day was because of all the Power World hype. And it was kind of a way to bring Pokemon back to the front page of the newspaper again. And I do think it worked. I think they were successful in that, but they're going to have to follow up. I really hope that they do. I really, really hope that they do. Pokemon has, in my opinion, Pokemon has a really not so great marketing team. I feel like so often their marketing team falls short of what it should be. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but let me know in the comments below when you think we'll get Legends EA news and what you think will be revealed in it. I do also want to say that I think that this reveal that I've predicted will be before Worlds. It'll be a presents that happens before Worlds, like first, second week of August. And then at Worlds, I could see them showing off Mega Evolution or something. Maybe if we get really lucky, them reveal like one new Mega Evolution at Worlds, because Worlds is typically, their reveals are competitive focused. Like, it'll be new moves, or a Pokemon that has a new ability that's a little weird, or a new move that's really weird, or a gimmick feature of some kind. So I would think that they do a Mega Evolution, because that's obviously very competitive, given that the Mega Evolution gimmick is a thing. Now, I don't think Legends EA will be in its own VGC circuit, but I do think if there's new Megas in Legends EA, which I think there will be, then we would also see some Megas appear in the Gen 10 game whenever that comes out. But yeah, so be sure to let me know what you think, when you think we'll get Legends EA news, what you think will be in it, will we get it at Worlds, what you think will be revealed there, all that fun stuff in the comments below. Hopefully we're on the horizon of new news, guys. But until then, at least we have each other, right? Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and until next time, I will see all of you later.